Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Zoe. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I really do hope that you decide to subscribe, and if you're a current subscriber, please make sure that your bell is on, as YouTube doesn't like suggesting the kind of content I like to make. So welcome back to Storytime Saturday. So this week I am going to be doing, well, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. So you know the way we've been doing things is at the end of the videos you've been picking a topic and we've been going through it. I recommended last time as one of the topics, I said it would be a choice between my labour and delivery story and how I found out I was pregnant with Dominic. But then one of you guys commented on my video saying, why don't you just do a series of videos from the very start to the very finish to where you are now? And that is what I'm going to do. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how I found out I was pregnant. I may leave you on a cliffhanger, and over the next coming weeks, and maybe 4 or 5 videos, we will talk about how I found out I was pregnant, things that happened during my pregnancy, my labour and delivery story, and how his first 2 years of life basically have been, how he's been, where he's up to and all that jazz. Now actually a YouTuber here on YouTube, obviously, that I watch called Imagination does this with her story time. She kind of makes them into a mini series, and I just thought it was a brilliant idea. It never clicked in my mind until one of you guys commented it, and I was like, that's it, that's the icing on the cake. So for the next couple of weeks we're going to be doing Storytime Saturday, but it will follow on from the previous week, so it's like a new episode every single week. Now where I'm going to start off today basically carries on from my abortion video that I posted a couple of weeks ago. I'll leave a card up here for it. Now I know a lot of you guys were a little bit, well not a lot of you, there was just a couple of people who were quite offended at the video and decided to unsubscribe. And I know abortion has such a stigma around it because everybody's got their own decisions, their own opinions when it comes to that topic, and I totally understand. I would never ever come at somebody for having a certain opinion about a certain topic, so I apologise if that video did offend any of you, because that was never my intention. I love hearing your opinions and your thoughts, so please keep leaving them down below, no matter if it's negative or positive. I love chatting to you guys and getting to know you guys a little bit better, and of course that includes your opinions and theories on things as well. So today's video is basically how I found out I was pregnant with Dominic. Now this follows on from my abortion story time. Now in my abortion story time I told you that I was not planning on having children, and one thing I did not know at the time was that once you've had an abortion you are very fertile. Now I was taking the contraception pill at the time I found out I was pregnant with Dominic, but I'll get into that a little bit later. So yeah, I didn't want children. At the time of my abortion I was not in a situation to have children, but my situation started to gradually improve. I had moved in with Dave like I told you before, but I actually got a job working full-time, working really hard to pay my way, because I believed that he shouldn't have to fund me and pay for my rent even though we're living together. I believed that I needed to contribute to the household in some way. I didn't get a job just to have a child or anything like that. That was not in my plan at all. I had actually planned to hopefully one day get married and move on with my career. I wanted to work really hard in general and do the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to travel, I wanted to have fun with friends, and that's kind of where I was at in my mindset. Dave already had a son, so children wise we were okay. We didn't need to add any more children into the mix, but that's not saying I regret having Dominic, because of course I don't. He's absolutely beautiful and he's a light of my life. I was preventing pregnancy, my life was getting back to normal, I had a job. I was living my best life. So I had been working at my current job for a couple of weeks. Things were getting more stabilised, I was getting back on my feet, I was enjoying having money. One day I was at work and I felt really poorly, and we have a local walking centre what is near to us where you can go without an appointment, but it's not like emergency based like the hospital is, like the A&E. You can just pop in and wait a couple of hours, see somebody, and they treat like minor ailments. So I had asked my manager, I said, can I go to that place in town because I really need to be seen. I don't feel well, I'm not quite sure what's going on, it may just be the flu, but I need to find out what is wrong with me. Obviously I was concerned after everything what had gone on previously a couple of weeks ago with the abortion, so I was very skeptical of everything that was happening to my body. So she said, yeah, that's fine, take half a day, you go and get yourself sorted. So I went to the walk-in centre and they said they couldn't find anything and that it may just be a bug. And then when I went into work the next day, one of my co-workers was talking to me and she was like, you're not pregnant, are you? I literally sat there and was like, no, I'm on the pill, I'm pretty sure I'm not pregnant, getting the periods that I'm meant to get, all that jazz. So I continued to live my life for a couple of more weeks. I was getting more and more sick every single day. I was feeling nauseous all day long. I was having headaches, I was having cramps, but I was also having my periods. So there wasn't much inkling in my mind that I could be pregnant. So I made a doctor's appointment and I told him, I was like, I'm being sick, I'm not feeling great, I'm feeling lethargic. And he said to me, is there a chance that you're pregnant? And I said, no, I'm on contraception, I'm being, you know, careful. Given my history of what had happened 2 months before, I said I'm trying my best to be careful, I'm pretty sure I'm not pregnant. So now 2 people in the space of a couple of weeks had mentioned that to me, and I felt like they had planted a seed in my mind. And a couple of days later I was at work, the day was going as usual, I went on my lunch break and I would usually walk into town, maybe pop into McDonald's, or I'd go to a butty shop and just get something to eat. And I decided to go into B&M and buy a pregnancy test. So I took the pregnancy test back to work. I weed on the test, obviously. I sat the test down on the side, pulling my pants up, sorting myself out, washing my hands, and within 30 seconds, 40 seconds, there was a bright line on the test line, and then there was a control line. And the test line was literally so dark, it came up within seconds, it was noticeable within seconds. I think I still have pictures of my tests, which I will put up on the screen. So I stood there in that toilet and I didn't cry, I was shocked. I was like literally in shock. Sometimes people will literally stand there and like freeze in shock, and I think that's exactly how I was. And then I had a moment of oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like backwards and forwards in this cubicle, literally just muttering to myself like, what am I gonna do? Like, Dave doesn't want children, and I was happy with that, but now I'm in this situation again. And everything that I went through previously, I had promised myself I would never ever, no matter what the situation, put myself through that again. And that doesn't mean I am against abortions, because I am fully, I'd say pro-choice. It is your choice. If you want to go and have an abortion, you should be able to go to have an abortion. You shouldn't be penalised for taking that option, but like I said at the beginning of the video, your opinion is totally valid too. If you disagree with me, then that is fine. I promised myself I wouldn't do it again because I was so worried that the same would happen again, and because I had been so sick and poorly, I didn't want to put my life at risk either. So that's why I would never do it again. So I was hysterical, but inside my brain, because I knew I was at work, I couldn't show any signs. I was so worried because I had just got my job and I didn't want to be sacked. I didn't want to get sacked because I actually loved my job so much. That job was literally one of the best jobs of my life, and I'm gutted I am not still working there. I do have a story time on my channel, I think, about why I left there. I'll try and link it down below if I can. But I was so worried I was going to get sacked, and that was one of the things that was at the forefront of my mind, along with telling Dave. I was so worried about telling Dave. I finished my lunch break and I remember being sat at my computer and I physically couldn't concentrate. I had things to do, but I couldn't align these tasks up in my mind and get them done because I was too busy thinking about the obvious. One of the things I did think of is this pregnancy test wrong? Is it wrong? Is it faulty? Is there something else going on? Am I not actually pregnant? But I didn't know how to tell Dave. So I decided to send him a text message, and I texted him and I said, I don't think my contraception is working. And he said, oh well, we can try something else, we can figure it out, you know, why, what's your issues? And I said, I don't think I need contraception anymore. And it's so bad the way that I sent it. I think I still have these text messages, so I may insert them here because it's quite funny to look back on. And he replied and he's like, are you telling me you're pregnant? And I was like, I think I typed yes, and then I put underneath, please don't leave me. I'm sure that's one of the first things I said was, please don't leave me. Because I had this impression of, if a man doesn't want a child, they're going to leave you and run away. I know that's a very judgmental thought to have about men, but all the men that had previously been in my life, and from things that I've seen around me, the men leave in situations like that, which is a shame. So I was so worried that he was gonna just up and leave me to do whatever I wanted to do with this child. That's honestly what I thought. And he said, of course I'm not gonna leave you. And then he said, I'll talk to you after work, I'll come and meet you and we'll sort things out. So that last couple of hours at work was literally the worst couple of hours for me. I was tempted to tell them I wasn't feeling very great, to try and get off early because I was really feeling crappy about the whole situation. More like because I didn't know exactly where I stood with Dave. I was really worried about that, but I didn't know where I stood with work either, and I couldn't physically tell them. I was so scared I could not tell them. So during my afternoon break, because I used to get an afternoon break as well, I went to take the second test because in the packs that you tend to buy these days, they do come with 2 in. So I took the second one and it was positive. It was a lot fainter because I had forced myself to wee to take the test, but there was still 2 lines on the test, and I remember sending that picture also to Dave as well, along with a picture of the other test. I remember during work I kept going back into this bag and looking at the tests just to make sure I wasn't going crazy, because that's one of the things that I was thinking. Honestly, when you find out some shocking news, no matter what type of shocking news you get, you are always thinking all these things and contradicting yourself in your own mind, and that's how I spent the last couple of hours of my day at work. So Dave came and met me after work because we finished at a similar time and he only worked around the corner, and I told him I wanted to go to the local Tesco's and I wanted to get a digital because I didn't believe it and I didn't want to go ahead with anything without knowing for sure. Went to Tesco's. I went to the Tesco's toilets and I weed on the test, and of course it came back and it said pregnant. I was literally, at that point, I was like, oh my god. And I don't think it truly set in yet. So it came back saying I was pregnant, and I was still just in this state of shock. We decided to go and find somewhere to get some tea. We sat down with a coffee and we spoke about the situation. So I told Dave that I couldn't go through with another abortion. I told him that despite the fact I was shocked and confused, I did want to go through with the pregnancy. And I told him, yes, I don't want to do it alone. I don't want to have to do it without your support. But if you're not willing to be with me, despite me being scared of Dave leaving, I told him, I said, this is my body, this is our baby that we have created, and if you want to stick around and help, that would absolutely be fabulous. Or you can just leave, but please don't walk in and out my life. Please be there for your kid. And that's basically what I told Dave. And hand on heart, He sat there and he said, I am not going anywhere. You are not fighting this situation alone. We are going to do this together and I will be there throughout everything. And I think that's the point when I cried. Like I said, I had some weird bad judgment on men. Maybe it's because of the way I've been treated in the past, because of the things you see on TV and in social media. I suppose I just had this bad sense on men, but he totally proved that wrong for me. He said he would be there until the end, and that is something I was forever grateful for, because I don't think I would have been able to get through that pregnancy alone. But he totally supported me and made me feel like, in that moment, he made me feel like I could actually get up and do this. So the next thing I was concerned about was the baby itself. I didn't know what effects an abortion that I had 2 months ago could do on an unborn child. I didn't know if them drugs I had taken could have some sort of effect on this baby, so I was worried. Once I got out of that shock stage, I was extremely worried. So one of the first things I did, I called my GP surgery and I booked in with a doctor, who then confirmed the pregnancy and booked me in with a midwife. The doctor also told me, when you're taking the pill, if you have any sort of sickness or diarrhea, your pill doesn't work for that 24-hour period and you're not protected. So we figured out that that would have been the cause of me getting pregnant, because I was taking the pill right, I just didn't know what affected it. I didn't know what affected that pill, which I suppose is my fault. I should have looked into it. But I do openly think that that's something doctors, midwives, health visitors, whoever, should tell the patient who is going to be taking them. They should be told that there are certain things that affects that pill, because I wasn't aware. So the GP had booked me in for a midwife's appointment, and it was at that point that I started to get excited. I was excited to go to that first appointment and learn a little bit more about the situation I was in. I was excited to get my green notes. I'm not sure if that's a thing in any other countries, but in England you get a pack of green notes when you're pregnant. I was excited to get that. I was also excited to get the ball moving and to get close to that 12-week mark, so I could tell other people as well. And that is where I'm going to leave this story time. We will be back next Saturday, where I will continue from this point and tell you a little bit more about my pregnancy journey. I hope this video hasn't been boring. If you're excited for this little mini series, please let me know down below, because what I am talking about is one of the biggest achievements of my life. Nothing will ever beat having my son. Unless I have other children, then they may be good contenders. I'm excited for this series to eventually go up to YouTube, because I like being more me on camera. I feel more comfortable being more me on camera. I feel so much more comfortable talking to the camera. It is crazy. It's really brought me out of my shell, and I appreciate you guys for watching and commenting and supporting, because that really makes my day. Today's secret word is Coca-Cola, so if you've stuck around to the end, make sure you write Coca-Cola in the comments down below. Also, go and check out my Instagram. I am trying to be better on Instagram. I am posting every single day to my feed, to my stories. You see it behind the scenes, and I keep you updated on everything, what is going on in my life, whether that's true crime, whether that's story times, whether that's just things that are going wrong in my day. Make sure you go and follow over there, because we do tend to have a fun time. That is all for this story time, and I do hope to see you in next week's story time as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, comment anything you like down below, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye.